would like to welcome you to this short program from the St. Lucia School of Dance, School of Ballet and Modern Dance, um, where today we'll be recognizing our students for their participation in the last exam, and Mrs. Colmer will give you a little more on that, I think, a little later on. So, again, special welcome to Dr. Pauline Antoine-Prospere. Dr. Antoine, I'm Prospere. I'm hoping that you will definitely enjoy the performances that will be delivered today. Though Mrs. Colmer did a lot of work in the short space of time, I am hoping that you could see the potential of our young and aspiring dancers and ballerinas, and with their beautiful pieces. I would like to recognize Mrs. Sadia Prosper, our prima ballerina from the school. Welcome, and I know your daughter will again beautify with her dance pieces. Okay, so without further ado, we would like to move on to our dance program. Yes? Okay, and the first dance will be done by our primary students, and they will perform the piece, The First Noel, from the album Christmas Tranquility.
Thank you. and there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field.
It's a little unique this year. It's quite unique because we've had now two presentations of certificates and awards in the same year. We had one in February, and this was because the examination sitting for 2022, the examination certificates were over-delayed, really over-delayed. We had a lot of issues with the uploading of our footage because that was our last year, our final year of doing examinations online. As you may have known, the COVID prevented the examiners from the Royal Academy of Dance and the ISCD to fly to countries, so all the teachers were now investing in equipment to have their examinations done in their studio, but under strict security, and also we had to satisfy the specifications regarding the internet power, ability, etc. There were a lot of specifications to do with our lighting, our space, no objects to be of distraction. It was quite a long list. And fortunately, Calabash TV, were very helpful in making it all happen for us. And they managed to send the footage up for us on both years. We did online for 2 years. The last year, there was an extra delay for some reason with our uploading, and we were forced to put our ceremony right into the following year, February, instead of perhaps this time, but last year, 22. So we had the Honourable Minister who came to give out the certificates in our own studio. By that time, it was only 12 candidates, so we managed to fit everyone in the studio, seated, and still had space for the children to do demonstrations. Then, their new syllabus, they've already done the old one, waiting for their certifications. So that was quite unique, and I did warn Minister, we're going to have another one, because we were preparing now for the next levels, for their grade, and the examination sittings were in July. But before that, on the 4th of July, we did a demonstration, the first formal one in Viewfort, in our branch in Viewfort. And just to accommodate Dr. Prospere, who may not know, our Viewfort branch is in the Viewfort Primary School, headed by Principal Mooney. And we occupy a quarter of their large hall that they have. So we're right at the very end, and it's separated by jumbo blackboards, which I had casters put under so that I could move them around and extend the length as well of the space. And also they're used for our donation. We were donated 5 wall mirrors, huge wall mirrors. And I decided that we'll send them down to Viewfort to attempt to create a studio for Mr. Mooney's school. And we installed the bars, we installed the 5 mirrors, we also had the whole painting, we did a complete makeover. All we have left is the flooring. It's still rubber tiles, which we're working with that, we're making it do, but of course we will need to look at that very soon about how we'd like to refurbish the floor. So Viewfort Primary has a little studio. But unfortunately, if you recall, there was a storm that hit Viewfort schools a little more severe than the Castries. And Viewfort Primary is one of the major ones that were hit, and the whole of the grade 6 block, the roof had practically disappeared. So as we're about to open for September for our new academic year, we were told we can't go in our new studio as it's now been converted to a classroom. So we're very excited. We were very glad to have the assistance of Principal James, Miss James, of OJ Combined. So she housed us and has one more week with her next week. She's housed us, she came to our rescue, and we have been guaranteed that we'll be back in Viewfort Primary in January. Meanwhile, we've covered the mirrors with special cardboard, and the teacher is very careful with the mirrors and taking care of the space. So we do expect a healthy room when we get there in January. So we'd like to thank you again to Mr. Mooney. Thank you to Glass World, who did the installation, who helped us, True Value, who helped with the painting, and the maintenance crew and security of Viewfort Primary, who actually did the installation of the bars, etc., which was a great help. We also like to thank Ministry of Education, who came down to film the demonstration, and it is now currently playing on NTN. So we'd like to thank you for that. So, yes. May I just mention that the mirrors were donated by a couple who are actually deceased, but the children had said that it's Mr. and Mrs. Nelson. They said that it was always their wish to give the mirrors to the ballet school. So this is how we inherited the mirrors. So we're thankful for that as well. So after the installation of that and our demonstration on the 4th of July, we then had our examinations on the 8th of July. And now we have the Academy flying in. We didn't have any modern dance entries, not yet. We're not back on stream with that, but the RAD Ballet we have. We had Anushka Rose, who came in. She flew in from Canada, and she examined our students. her accommodation was donated by Calabash Cove, Mr. Conrad Wagner. So I'm very glad for him. Thank you, Mr. Wagner. And not because he donated this to, but the RAD were not going to fly in with such small numbers. So it was a case of what could we do, and because they really wanted to come, they said the work is so good in St. Lucia, but the numbers do tend to be small compared to other islands. So we were able to, kindly, Mr. Conrad Wagner kindly gave us the accommodation for Mrs. Rose, and the examinations happened. And the children, as you will see this afternoon, did very well. We gained 100% pass again. Right. So now we've started our new academic year in September. What you saw today was a mixture of abilities, all at the same level, but some abilities much more than others, much greater than others, but they are serious, they work hard, they do their best to attend classes punctually, and they do their best to practice. So it does pay. The discipline is certainly doing them a world of good. They're applying it to their studies, so we're very proud of our students. We have also been visited 2 weeks ago by the Caribbean Electives Organization. Caribbean Electives is from Newcastle in the UK. They called in to say they're coming to visit us at Ballet. They saw our premises. They thought it was absolutely wonderful. I said, well, the building's rather rustic. It needs a lot of work. They said, oh, they love it because the grounds are very promising, have great potential, and we're hoping, Dr. Prospere, to have an outdoor stage, and eventually build it up that way so we can have our outdoor performances, and eventually have it as a full-fledged auditorium, going into a performing arts center. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Jacob's Pillow in the States. This is a place where choreographers, dance teachers, they actually go to Jacob's Pillow. It's a big complex where you can actually stay there. There's accommodation there. Choreographers do perform. They put their material together. They've hired professional dancers, and they complete their productions there. And you can live on the process until it's finished. So a lot of the professional dancers are absolutely honored if they can get into and have an opportunity to work with a choreographer and using the premises of Jacob's Pillow. They're also doing classes as well for the younger ones who are exceptional. So I foresee a vision for Ballet. It's almost 2 acres of property. It's laden with avocados, mangoes, golden apples, coconuts, and Evie, one of our students, has her own guava tree there. We named it Evie's Tree. Right. So we're very thankful, parents, that I know it is a lot, especially making classes during the week. I know. But I'm really, really thankful, and you have managed, especially when there's exam time. They do have to double up and triple up sometimes. But thank you so much for the support, because these children are victorious. They managed to arrive on this earth without being interrupted or completely diverted. I don't want to be morbid, but you know that there are many children, in fact, in the millions all over the world, who never see the light of day. There are now children who are born, who get into families, but they are moved from their homes, moved from their countries. They too disappear. And they are used, I hear, and they can be used 10 times in a day. So we are so fortunate, St. Lucia, that we are to really understand and value our children, the behavior, but particularly the behavior of our adults. Adults, you set the example. Those in government, you set the example. And we appeal to those in government to keep talking to our officials, our government officials in Parliament, etc., to display decorum, the gentleman that these children, especially our males, need to look up to. And I know one day we will have a female Prime Minister from St. Lucia School of Ballet and Modern Dance. Thank you very much. They must be 5 years old before they sit their examination, which is actually done as a group, but still examined individually. Their mark is an award, or they're awarded or they are unsuccessful. They were all awarded, so all of them are fine. Yes. Now, the next grade is grade 1. Now, grade 1 is now the formal exam where you will be marked out of 100. You are graded according to pass, merit, high merit, or distinction. Also, there are accreditations given on the British Isles and the European educational system, where you're awarded credits to entrance to colleges and universities. And these credits start to begin and accumulate from now. So we start with, how many credits? Yes. So a grade 1 student would have scored 7 credits for having passed the exam. So all our grade 1s were successful. So we'd like to call them up now, please. But there is another exam that you can do called the actual presentation award, where you are marked according to your whole performance and not in sections as the other one that is graded. So this exam tends to be for the child that needs a little more time, perhaps just started the school, or has fallen ill, or has left the island for some reason for a long period of time, and has a lot of catching up to do in regarding developing their technique. So they give the child opportunity to still do an examination and then move up. You don't have to repeat, but to move up to the next level. So we now have grade 1s who are all successful. We receive many compliments from strangers who visit the school, and they watch how the children communicate with each other, and they are so impressed about this camaraderie that the children have. In fact, many of our dancers, they have birthday parties, and it's actually the majority of guests are actually the ballet students and not necessarily from their school. So there is a bonding, and you know why, because our The arts are the gift, the divine gifts, and that is what the arts are to do. It's to bind us together, to keep us together and grow together, and understand each other, and help each other. So the most improved is not only performance, but the whole way they carry themselves during the year. Thank you. The Star Award goes to the student who accumulated the most stars.
Coming in third with the highest, with nine stars, was Kiara Xavier. Coming in second with 10 stars, Michaela Prosper. And first with 12 stars, Jazz Joseph.
This particular child, she did stand out for the year, and she has continued now into our new academic year. So Mrs. Bezo will now say her name.
Thank you, Mrs. Collymore. So basically, Mrs. Collymore is saying that the student of the year is a holistic student, and not just because she danced well, but because she has the tenacity to be Miss Congeniality, be that person, that helpful person. So again, one of your daughters, not mine this time, is going to be a student of the year. And that is ballerina Charissa Melville. Charissa.
What should I say? Breathtaking, grace, skill, joy. This is what I have seen this afternoon. And when I speak of joy, this is what we want to see on the faces of children. And this is what we look for in our communities today. And sometimes we do not see the joy that we expect to see on the faces of children. So this afternoon, I'm very heartened by what I have experienced here. I am thrilled by the performances of children, and I had to be here today. On behalf of the Ministry of Education and the government of St. Lucia, I wish to express our profound gratitude to Mrs. Collymore and the staff for their passion, for their dedication, for their leadership, for their hard work in guiding those young stars. Parents, thank you for your investment in your children, for your time. I know you have to dedicate a lot of time to come and witness the performance of your children, to ensure that they come to practice. And I know it takes a few dollars out of your purse to ensure that they are involved in ballet. Students, ballerinas, I am so thrilled this afternoon. I'm so happy to watch you demonstrate your talent, your skill. I am sure a lot of young children like you would have been happy to be in your footsteps, to be here this afternoon with your skill and your talent. Let me congratulate all of you on your achievement. You've done well, and I think your parents would help me in giving you a round of applause for your achievement. And I believe you, in turn, ballerinas, should stand, salute your parents, and your teachers and give them a round of applause for the support. Let me see you stand and clap for them. Let me hear you very, very loudly. Let me hear thunder in your corner. Thank you so very much. I encourage you to continue doing well. Some of you have improved tremendously, and I would like to commend you for your efforts, for your dedication, for your patience as your teachers strive to get you better. We don't want you to be just ballerinas in St. Lucia, but we want you to be ballerinas on the world stage. And I am sure you are striving to get to that level. Remember, we have to perform as world citizens. And the government of St. Lucia is providing scholarships for children, and I'm hopeful that you take advantage of opportunities that may come your way to help you to improve. We also want you to look at dance, not just as something that you do at school, but something you may decide to take on as a career, something that you may want to do as a business and make a livelihood out of it. So I don't want you to look at dance in any very small way, but in a big way that you can go very far with your skill and with your talent. Parents, let us keep working with our students. Let us keep helping them improve. I know that a lot of you are here. Maybe you are saying, when I was younger, I wish I was a ballerina. Sometimes when I watch the young children, I say, oh my God, I didn't have this opportunity. But if you are dedicated and you are here, we must understand not just the dance, but the discipline that is instilled in our children. The foundation that dance can give to our children will be for a lifetime and not for today. And I am sure you'll watch them walk around as disciplined young people because it is nurtured in the practice, in the discipline that is taught at school. Let me once again congratulate you, and let me assure the School of Ballet and Modern Dance that the Ministry of Education and the government of St. Lucia will support you in any way possible. And I'm very happy to hear that my colleagues from down south, Mr. Mooney and Ms. James, have come to the rescue of the students in the south. I was a principal in District 6, so I know the principals very, very, very well. And if you ask Ms. James about me, she may tell you Dr. Prospere was my mentor. And this is what she says to everybody. And so I'm very pleased that she was able to accommodate you. And I will stand and encourage them to continue to give the support that you need for the students in the southern part of the island. Well, we all know what Hurricane Brett did to the schools in the south, but we are working assiduously to ensure that the students return to a state of comfort at their school, because there are many other things happening around them, and I'm sure ballet would assist them in coping with the environment. The government is assisting in many ways to families, and don't be afraid of speaking out and to say how we can assist you, Mrs. Collymore. I'll be there. So once again, let us keep improving, let us keep guiding, let us keep mentoring our children, and keep fostering an environment of positive learners. Thank you, parents. Thank you, Mrs. Collymore and staff. And well done, ballerinas. Thank you so much.